everyone, welcome to How Not to K-Pop. I'm Sean and Henry. Today we're talking about the weather.
Yes, Melbourne weather, it's the best.
But we're talking about we're talking about rain. Yes, not the weather, the K-pop male idol hunk sex icon fiend. Not a fiend.
He's the god of weather because he's named after literal weather. Is his name? Wait. His name isn't actually B, right?
No. That's his stage name, obviously.
All right. Can you imagine? My name's Thunder.
Yeah. Can I see your license? It's one word. Oh, like McLovin. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about this dude, Rain.
Yeah, R&B king. We're going back to his debut songs, 2000, 2002. His breakout into Hollywood, and how successful was it? His sex scandal with one Miss Lee Hyori. Ooh. And his legacy as trendsetter. This is how it goes. Alright, quick fire style.
Quick fire, you kidding me? I'm looking at the script, it's bloody... This intro is a segment of its own. Go
1 hour later,
you may as well start. You may as well start. Alright, Rain, whose real name is... I've got it here, it's Jung Ji-hun.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. So Rain, solo debut under JYP in 2002. He was previously a member of the short-lived boy group Fan Club. They disbanded in 2000. His debut album was called Bad Guy. It was #1 in Korea. 143k sales, thank you very much. His second album, even more. Then, 2004, his third album, It's Raining, takes off. Especially in China and Southeast Asia, so worldwide star in a way. It eventually got 1 million album sales. His popularity was helped by his acting in Full House, a really popular drama, in particular super successful in Korea as well as China, Thailand and the Philippines, where remakes have been made. 2004 onwards, Rain makes a pivot to acting. And in 2006 made his feature-length debut in I'm a Cyborg, But That's Okay. That's a Korean film. 2 years later, he's in LA, he's in Hollywood, debuts in Speed Racer as Taejo, and makes appearances on talk shows, US TV shows. In particular, one good one is a dance-off with Stephen Colbert on DDR. As well as a major lead role in 2009's Ninja Assassin, which we'll go into a little bit later. Rain also appears in Most Beautiful People and Most Influential People polls and sings at the 2008 Beijing Olympics closing ceremony, as well as singing the theme song that was released worldwide, Hand in Hand. Whilst all these movies and appearances are going on, Rain releases Rainism, selling 1.5 million copies, mainly across Southeast Asia, but it includes English and Chinese versions of the title track and Love Story, which was a huge hit. 2010, he releases Back to the Basics mini-album. The promoted track, Song to Grab You, also known as I Love You, garners 3.5 million digital downloads. It's my personal favourite song of his. 2011 to 2013, he's in the military. He completes his mandatory military service, then releases a comeback, Rain Effect. Under Cube, he's no longer with JYP. It's also revealed he's in a relationship. He is dating actress Kim Tae-hee, known for roles in dramas Stairway to Heaven and Love Story in Harvard. They marry in 2017, and as of 2020, they have 2 kids together. Rain has been CEO of his own company, Rain Company, since 2015. Up until now, he has appeared as mentor on Island, which is a big hit sort of funded survival show, variety shows such as Hang Out With You, and dramas such as Sketch.
Wow, so that is a hell of a summarized description of the true majesticness that is Rain.
I had like the Rocky theme tune playing through my head during that. I don't know, it was very montagey.
Yeah, this guy went through quite a few things. I recall the first time I heard Rain was for, I believe, is Rainism. And then again, I never really listened to Rain during that period when Rain got big. I was not into Korean. Were you into Korean music? I wasn't into Korean music at the time. This was when did he release it? 2006? No.
Let me get back.
No, 2008. 2008.
Yeah, right. 2008.
2008. Rainism. 2008. What the hell was I listening to? I was year 12. No, wait. I was year 12. Oh, crap. I think I was listening to music from like games.
I remember Black Eyed Peas being really huge around that time. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. I remember Black Eyed Peas.
I'm fairly confident I was listening to either them or just starting to listen to sort of more heavier rock stuff. So yeah, Rain was not on my radar. There was no Rain on my radar.
I think during that period as well, R&B was at its height. Again, I believe
it was peaking.
I don't recall exactly the years, but like, you know, when you had Usher and like Neo, who remembers Neo? You know,
right?
Akon, was Akon during that period, or was he later?
He was sort of around that period, even earlier a little bit. Like Mr. Lonely was like 06 or something. That's a real old song.
Because I remember like a few years back from 08, let's say about 05, that was like emo music, rock music.
True,
you know?
True.
Yeah. After that, I recall a lot of R&B. Definitely. But I was not into K-pop during that period when Rain got big. Even then, I heard of Rain. The only reason I heard of Rain was because my sister was listening to it. I'm like, what are they singing? What is this gibberish they sing? The only real language is English.
I just came to know him, I guess, through the movies, I'd say, like Ninja Assassin. I'm like, oh, who's this guy?
Ninja
That's
Assassin,
how I discovered Rain. But I didn't give his music a shot until 2012 with Rainism, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
The beat, everything about it was kind of dark, which I liked. Yeah.
And then you keep making fun of the one song that is meant to be really really lovely. What's it called?
Yeah, Song to Grab You or I Love You is still my favorite song, but oh my gosh, his abs are like doused in oil, that body oil that makes it shiny, and he's obviously topless, and he's in like a workman's outfit, a tradies outfit. It's just wow.
A sparkly tradies outfit,
doing
by the way.
Sort of body wave onto the ground. It's amazing. I highly recommend checking it out on YouTube.
So what? It's called Song to Grab You or I Love You.
Yes.
That's what it's called. All right. Yeah. Search it up by Rain. You'll know what we mean. You'll also see that he does something on top of a girl. We'll leave that up to your imagination unless you watch it. So give it a look.
His dance moves were so cheesy, as we just described, but I don't know. He was popular for a reason, so clearly it was very cool back then, and people were like, "Wow, Rain!"
Just wow. I think that if they're gonna have that big of a reaction, that it makes you think of what the K-pop industry, the look of the K-pop industry, what it was like back in that period, just before Rain, and even when Rain hit. Because Rain was all abs.
Oh, right. It implies that was not the trend, I reckon. And he was breaking out of this trend towards more feminine-looking guys with long hair. TVXQ comes to mind, in fact, in that regard. If you look at their debut photos for Triangle and stuff, very long hair, not as much muscle as a Rain.
True. See, during that period, even like when groups like Super Junior came out, a bit of TVXQ, but also other groups around Rain's early era, I think that the styles are much more influenced by Japanese pop, by the Japanese music industry style.
That's
those
fair to
kinds of
say.
hairstyles.
I would also
Yeah.
throw, just as you said, back in the early 2000s, it was very rock or what's known as new metal, especially Linkin Park. I'd say that kind of aesthetic really took hold across the world. So that was incorporated into it as well.
Yeah, and it was personally, I believe it was Rain who actually brought across R&B. Proper. I'd say I put my money on Rain, the one who brought a genre, a huge, amazing genre, to the K-pop industry.
Yeah,
That changed waves.
He is
Yes.
not just a hot body. He's not just a beautiful voice. He's a trendsetter.
Yeah.
He's amazing. But we gotta give props to the man behind him, JYP. JYP 100% saw something in the guy and understood how to, I guess, market him, you'd say, or how to dress him up to be the most appealing, to become a worldwide pop star.
Well, you're going to need some sort of company that can actually help you out. JYP, I believe, his style is also in the pop side, in the sort of in the R&B side.
Yeah, he wrote
like-
most of his songs, most of his hits. Yeah.
Weekly, you watch Rain on Weekly Idol. You'll find that Rain talks about the dance style even of JYP versus YG.
Wow.
So he says that JYP, his dance style's using shapes, very pop, like the classic Running Man style, right? And YG is freestyle, it's hip hop. So
That's very true. JYP
if
is almost ballet-like in how he hits certain poses.
and if you think about it, that works well with R&B. In fact, JYP has done R&B songs, I'm sure. So
100%,
Rain,
yeah.
going with JYP was a good decision. It elevated him more than what he was capable of. He became the perfect specimen that he was. Now,
It wasn't
not so
Rain's
much.
decision. Rain auditioned at 20 or so different places before JYP, before he landed at JYP. So,
Are you
to
telling me
me,
there's you make it sound like there's 20 different companies back then?
hey, I'm calling it how I read it.
my
Through
God.
my research, that was what I found, that he had applied 20 times at various companies. And JYP
okay.
finally took a chance on him, and the rest is history. So, in my opinion, JYP's kind of a genius to
I
see
think,
so much potential in him and bring it out as well.
Yeah, if Rain went with YG, imagine how different his style, his music would be.
Oh, man.
And do you think he'd be setting a trend, or will it already be done?
I'd
like,
say,
what-
right, YG might dress him up as a rock star, maybe, potentially. Considering
Yeah.
how dark his voice is and how it's got that roughness to it,
Yeah,
I'd say, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. It makes it sound like, depending on the artist that YG uses, YG could change from the hip hop style that everyone knows from like Big Bang and 2NE1, straight up to another genre, which would be rock, like hard rock.
Or dance, EDM, of course. Just like how, well, Black Eyed Peas, they sort of transitioned to more electronic stuff around that time, roughly. So maybe YG would have gone, oh my gosh, this is amazing, I'm going to do that with Rain, potentially.
Yeah, but then by that point, it's not Rain who actually sets the trends, because like the rock music is already there, right? The dance music's technically already there. It's just dancier versions of the pop songs that they use. Whereas R&B, they didn't really have it. It was still pop. It was still bubblegum pop, if anything.
Well, of course they still had G.O.D. and they still had H.O.T. or Shinhwa as well. But by this point, 2002, 2004, these groups were a few years old by this point. So we did need something fresh. And Rain definitely brought that freshness to it. Whether he's a complete 100% pioneer, I don't know. I think he definitely has set trends currently, but to say he was the absolute first, I'm not so sure I can say that.
No, not necessarily the first, but he's definitely the man that made the most.
Through his popularity, right.
Yeah, he's did it, man. His body did it. His voice did it. He did it. JYP helped him do it. And that's why he's like some of current idols, the idol of idols, you could say. No, he is literally the idol of idols. current idols like I don't remember. I need to go through that weekly idol. Like Jimin of BTS, I believe. I think it's Jimin. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think it's Daniel from Project 101.
The one who was in 101? That
yes,
one?
yes, yes. Yes, I believe so. They call Rain their idols.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. They look up to her. That's why when you watch the Weekly Idol episode with Rain, you've got Daniel doing a move and they try to make Rain copy him. And Rain can't do it because he's completely different now.
Yeah, that's right. It has evolved. It's definitely Rain was the trend for a little bit, but yeah, trend caught up and evolved from him for sure.
Yes, yes, and Rain now, you look at the dance moves he did back then, back in 2006, 2008, you know, it's got that R&B, it's got that pop, it's got that smoothness to it. If you watch his dance style now, it's actually, how do I say it, I find it more animalistic, more primal.
Yeah, that's fair.
An example would be checking out his dance for Gang, Gang, I believe, yeah, Gang.
Right.
And it's the intro. He dances like a gorilla, you know, primal gorilla.
Totally.
His chest, yeah, and like what do you do? Yeah, he crawls on the floor without using his legs.
Hey, you do what you got to do for the TikTok.
Yeah. This is before TikTok, I believe.
No.
Was it?
Not really. No, I
Wasn't it? No?
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I would say it's before TikTok got really huge.
Yeah, but he did like TikTok promo of the song and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. But yeah, the dance that Rain does now is much more different to what he used to do. Right now, it's a bit more hip hop than it is R&B, and that shows the trend of today. It's much more hip hop. And Rain knows that. He can't create trends no more. He has to follow the trend now.
Okay, let's look at his movies. Speed Racer. Have you seen it?
Nope.
Came out in 2008. It wasn't that good. It stars Emil Hirsch. It was done by the Wachowskis, by the way. The Wachowskis, famous for The Matrix.
Right, yeah.
And he wasn't the star of it. So Speed Racer is almost like a just getting ready for a Hollywood kind of entering Hollywood. But Ninja Assassin, he's in the driver's seat. He's lead role. He's on the cover of the DVD. And It was good. It's not amazing. I'd put it in sort of the B-movie area. But who doesn't love a good B movie sometimes?
I don't know, man. Some people talk down of Ninja Assassin because it's the movie that made Rain less big.
He had to slim down.
He had to slim down, yeah. For Ninja Assassin, his role required a bit more athletics to it, and it needed more practicality in his muscles. So, whereas with his original bulky body was more for a good show of dance, and it just didn't work. It didn't suit the role that's required for Ninja Assassin. So he had to bulk down, not bulk up, bulk down. He had to slim, and people are saying, "Oh, he's gone skinny. He's not good looking anymore." I think that was the main problem.
No abs, no rain. Oh dear.
Yeah. And no abs, no rain. That's right, man. He's not. He doesn't grab you anymore. He smothers you. Oh, smothers might be a bit too strong.
Yeah, he's skinny now. He can't. He's too
weak.
Yeah.
He's too weak. That shows you how people are quite shallow.
It was talked about though, and it did make an impact, which is more than I can say for other idols. I'd argue.
Yeah, I don't think.
As in, Western, like, white people were talking about Ninja Assassin is what I mean. Right. Whereas, not that many white people that at least I've spoken to in my sphere really knew that Wonder Girls tried for the American market. They don't really know that at all.
Right. And that was with Akon.
Yes, like money.
Definitely with Akon. Yeah. But that was after Rain, wasn't it?
Yes, couple years.
Couple years. You see, Rain was the guy. He had the machete and he was cutting down the wall of vines. You know, racism. He was cutting down all the stuff that the West tried to put in front of him, and he broke through. He cut them all down. Got into Hollywood. At first he was a villain or an antagonist. Because Asians, you know, Hollywood Asians. and then finally got his own starring role, Ninja Assassin. There we go. And he paved the way for other idols in the K-pop industry to go to the Western world.
But it didn't go anywhere.
Shut up. If it weren't for Rain, there would be no BTS. There would have been no Wonder Girls going to America. No. Girls' Generation wouldn't have gone. That's right. Blackpink, nah. Big Bang, everyone's favorite Big Bang and 2NE1, nah. Who cares? It's just a phenomena. It's nothing. If it weren't for Rain, who paved the way, who created a path so that future generations could walk and follow on his way.
I think that's absolutely true. He was cutting down the vines. He was doing all of that so that everyone else had a clear path to just run through and rise up. But he definitely hit a brick wall after cutting down those vines, to use your metaphor, because it didn't go anywhere further. Ninja Assassin and then what? A stop sign. Like it just faded away a little bit. So why didn't it work? Why did Hollywood not love Rain?
He's not white. Come on.
That's my take as well. I just feel like this is a case of low-key racism a little bit, or whitewashing in movies.
Well, I mean, think about the number of movies that Hollywood makes that's about an Asian protagonist. There isn't really any that I can think
like zero.
Yeah, they don't, man. Come on.
Yeah, there's very few. There's not many. Yeah.
That's right. Their protagonists are always white people because, you know, America is a lot of white people or even African American people. Yeah. For Asians, generally Asian protagonists would be from Asian movies made in Asia. It makes sense. Although Hollywood does have the ability to make movies where the main protagonist is of a different ethnicity to white people and African American people. They can make an Asian protagonist if they wanted to. They just don't.
Exactly. I think back to all those action stars especially, because Rain was sort of setting himself up as an action movie guy. They're all white bar a couple. You know, Bruce Willis, for example, Tom Cruise, Matt Damon, I guess, with the Bourne Identity. These action stars, all white. White. And it's only, in the context of now, that sounds so funny because in the past 3-4 years, I'd say, it has become different. We had Black Panther, we had Crazy Rich Asians become a huge success, and that was backed by Hollywood a little bit. So we are getting diversity now, but back then, none, pretty much.
Because nowadays people are much more louder in what they want. They speak out more. So that's why you've got a bit more diversity now compared to back then.
Oh, so is it sort of a social media thing? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Kind of? Like it's much easier than writing constant letters to Hollywood?
Yeah, because letters you can destroy. And whatever you write on the internet, whatever you say on the internet stays on the internet. Even if you delete it, someone's going to have a copy of it somewhere. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's how it is, man. You know, like the scariest thing a ghost can ever do to you is to keep you from wiping your internet history when you die. That's the worst thing, okay? It's not the scares or whatever. It's you not able to wipe your internet history. The ghost will go, and you're screwed. So, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Should he have ignored Hollywood and gone way more harder on China? Because Rain, after Full House, quite big in China. He was doing Chinese versions of his songs on his albums. Should he have just gone to China and focused there to become mega big?
I don't personally believe it. Like, with the way I feel is that the reach that K-pop has in Asia reaches to other Asian countries much easier than to the West. They would be a bit more lenient because they understand that it's a language, it's an Asian language. The West, they don't Asian language. So exotic, and then they ignore it. They forget about it within a week, maybe. But I'd say what Rain tried to do, he eventually hit a brick wall for sure. But going into Hollywood, going into the West, entering the market, if you succeed, you literally have the whole world. Okay? You literally have the whole world. There are, Chinese listeners who listen to the Korean version. They're not fussed. Because it sounds good. There are people from Thailand who will listen to the Korean version because it sounds good. They're not fussed. But if you could break into the Western market, you will have pretty much the whole world. Okay? The way that the West promote music is very, very good from the way I've heard on radio and stuff. It's constant. That's why a lot of stations play the song, and you'll have promotions here and there. Your music's going to be everywhere. You're going to be in more television shows. Rain will probably end up with an American company. And if he was with an American company and he had full control over what he wanted, he could be setting another trend. If things really worked out. That's what I think. If he went to China, he's not that far from Korea. Chinese music, Korean music, Japanese music, it's Asian. You're stuck in Asia. That's only one part of the world.
Right. He might set the trend in China, but in a way, what's the big deal? He'll come to Australia and not be known. And I think that speaks to his ambition. Rain was very ambitious. He wanted to be known throughout the world and be a star worldwide, not just in China, Korea, Japan, whatever.
This guy is named by his fans World Star. Okay? World Star. That's Rain. That's the guy we're talking about right now. That's how big of an influence he is. Well, he was, but he is, even to this day. Not as big as he used to be, but still a hell of an influence.
Very true, very true. I guess as a business decision, though, if I was seeing the numbers I was pulling in China, I'd say, here's the plan. Appear in China a lot more often. If you can sense some momentum picking up in a certain country, go there. Go there right now. Start appearing on TV. Start doing songs in their language. Because it will make that momentum snowball and become this massive thing, I feel.
Yeah, well, you're talking about China, though. China having a large population, but it's a large population in one area. When you get big in the West is not America. The West is like America, Australia, so the Americas, Australasia, Europe, any country that uses the English alphabet, you can get big there. So we're talking South America. That's basically 1, 2, 4 continents. If he broke into the West, he would be able to control, if everything went well, 4 whole continents. Whereas if he breaks into China, which he has, all he's doing is solidifying China, his presence in China. That's it. But that's only one portion of the world. That's one continent. That's it. I understand where you're coming from, but if you really want success, if you want to lead the world, to be a true trendsetter, to be world star, him going into the West, breaking into Hollywood and stuff, that's the way to go.
Let's talk about his sex appeal now. Yay!
Okay, yeah.
This guy,
just so you know, so to our listeners, Sean wrote that Rain is a huge keg of a man, muscly, tall, over 6 foot, and those abs are ridiculous because those are everything that Sean wants and he can't have.
Oh, he makes me look like a boy.
First of all, Sean, how tall are you?
5'3".
5'3". I don't know how tall that is.
That's about 160 centimeters, give or take.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you actually meet Sean in person, he's not 163. He's 63.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah, it's true. Not like that. But there have been people who have said that Sean does have chocolate.
Oh, thank you.
He's small, but he's got chocolate. Me, I'm taller than him. As an Asian, that's pretty funny. I'm taller than him, but I've got a marshmallow. Right? Yes.
You're
I'm literally a
huggable.
keg. I'm literally a keg. Okay?
And we can agree we both have the charisma of a wet towel.
So, Rain.
This
sex,
Rain guy.
Yeah.
He's
Rain.
charisma plus. It's insane. He
You
melts me on screen.
watch, I believe it's Rainism, yeah? The song where, watch Rainism. Rainism. Yes, Rainism by Rain. You will see, hell, even watch I Love You or the song to grab you. You will see his definition, his power, his charisma. You see everything. The reason why back in the day people fell in love with Rain, men, women, animals. Oh, maybe not animals. Men.
He's just an icon. His
Boys,
brooding
girls.
eyes, his long emo fringe that was very hot at the time. I don't know by 2020 fashion how it is, but oh my, that emo fringe. And his abs, as you said, corrugated iron, absolute washboards going on down there.
Yeah,
He's just epic. He's an absolute icon.
that's right, man. Back then, K-pop idols didn't have six packs. They weren't looking to bulk up and show it off. No, they were thin. They only started dance, right? Shiny, one of the first to actually solidify dance choreographies for K-pop groups. That was much later, I think.
Yeah, very
is it?
true. They
Yeah.
didn't debut till 08. Yeah.
The only groups that really danced, properly danced, there weren't even groups. They were just there were solos like Boa. Yeah, you had Rain. There were
Funny you're
solos.
mentioning solo female stars because Rain got into some hot water, some hot rain with one of the stars, Lee Hyori, who at the time was solo. Supposedly, Rain accidentally bragged about a one-night stand with Miss Hyori on air on a radio show in the early 2000s.
Yeah, and that's why Lee Hyori actually released a song called 10 Minutes, because it only lasted 10 minutes. Oh, what am I doing? I'm sorry.
You rascal. That's a good one.
Just want 10 minutes. Yeah, and then Rain, that's in early 2000s. Yeah, the early 2000s. That's also when Rain, released I Love You, because he loved her.
Oh, it was... I doubt it.
I'm just making stuff up, man. I'm bull crapping. This is a joke.
Wow, you're good at fishing. Is that what it's called? You stir the pot well.
Hey, I'm very good at variety. What can I say, man? Is that what you guys want to hear? That's what you want to hear, yeah?
Gotta watch out for you. Hopefully you don't have a scandal with Miss Hyori.
Maybe.
It wouldn't be that bad. Like, Lee Hyori, she's very attractive.
She's married, man. I'm not gonna go down that route. I'd rather have a scandal with AOA or former AOA member Choa. But let's leave it at that for now. I don't want to bring up anything that her and I have done.
You mean like nothing?
Jokes.
So there's nothing to
Jokes.
say? Yes, right.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, we don't want silence in this podcast, right?
But you do want to talk about Rain and Hyori.
It was confirmed false by Lee Hyori. She denied it and said it's not true on Happy Together in 2012. So this was about a decade-old rumor.
Okay. Yeah. It says 2012. I got nothing to say to that. I got nothing to add to that.
Awesome. Let's talk about JYP and how he's a genius and Rain's influence.
Well, first of all, you did write that you would like to have a scandal with Red Velvet Sugi.
Moving on. No.
Hey, hold up. You're not going anywhere, mate. Sugi, first of all, one of our friends happens to be a big fan of Sugi. You can't take her. And if we're talking about Red Velvet, I take Irene.
Hey man, SM, they're
Hey,
ginormous.
you're stuck with Wendy, you're stuck with Joy, and you're stuck with Yeri. Is it Yeri? Is it Yeri? It's Yeri.
Look, I'm just trying to get in
Which one
on
do you
that
want?
SM. I'm just
You
trying
can't
to get
take
in on
you
those,
can't take our.
the SM
can't take-
ones.
Shut up! You can't take Irene. You can't take Sugi. Which one are you gonna take?
Yeah, Sugi, still. That just makes it
you
more
can't take
scandalous.
It's a love triangle. Our friend's gonna kick your ass.
Hey, SM have billions of won. I just want to get a little of that. Little percentage. A few percentage points. Few assets.
All right. Whatever you want. We'll continue. We'll talk more about Red Velvet when we do a Red Velvet episode.
Absolutely.
All right. So what's next? JYP.
The man, the myth, the JYP legend. Did he make Rain what he is?
Yes, I recall this. If you watch Weekly Idol on the Rain episode again, near the end of the show, Donnie Connie, the hosts, mention or say to Rain that because Rain got so big, Rain was what made JYP on the spot. It's what brought it up. And Rain immediately agreed, pointed at them and goes, yes, that's true. I agree. I made JYP. And if you think about it, yeah, if Rain never got big, do you think JYP would still be a big name? One of the three big companies back then against YG and SM? If it weren't for Rain.
I'm going to say yes because God were just so huge for him. So I think he could have probably continued.
Not for the future. Not for what Rain brought, what Rain eventually brought more of. Because God was getting old. It's an old style. Do you think God would move into the same R&B style that Rain did and made it popular?
Not the exact same. It wouldn't have had the edge that Rain brought to it.
Exactly.
That kind of roughness. Yeah.
It was to me, I feel like God, if they brought R&B, it would sound like an older style of R&B. It would not, I feel like it would not attract the current R&B audience,
And Rain, he is talented. I'd argue he probably would have been big at SM, at YG, at Pledis, at Cube, even the smaller companies with less resources, because he has that charisma and talent.
Nah, SM wouldn't like that. The reason I say it is because of Boa. You have Boa and Rain, two amazing solo artists. You have them in the same company. They both start making waves. Eventually, the fans will fight against each other. You're gonna have fans of SM fight against fans of SM, all because of Rain versus Boa.
I like that. I like the implication that JYP needs Rain and Rain needs JYP. That's kind of awesome.
Right.
I think that sums it up very poetically.
Thank you.
You're an artist.
Yeah. Thank you. I am quite the artist, yes.
His influence on the genre of K-pop, it's huge. As we've said a few times this episode, he absolutely set the trend for K-pop for the next 5, 6, 7 years, I'd say.
Yeah.
With his muscles, with his voice. There's so many artists I can think of. 2PM, Taeyoung, even Monster X's members, Wonho in particular. That aesthetic, that sound, the sound of their voice, it 100% can be attributed partly to Rain and the legacy he has.
I agree. I got nothing to add to that. It's true. It's correct. Yes.
Well, very recently, right, he's still active. That's worth mentioning. It's been 20 years, roughly. He's still
that old, huh?
active. He's still around.
How old is the dude?
Well, he's
38.
married. 38.
He's 38. Yeah.
He's married. He has kids, yet he's still doing songs. He was part of this Suxity group that released this awesome collection of tracks. One of them's on the beach, and it's just awesome.
And the funny thing is that this group has two other members. It's three members. You have Rain. The second member is he's nicknamed the Nation's MC. That's Yoo Jae-suk. All right, you might see him on like variety shows like Running Man and Happy Together. Is he on Happy Together? Yeah, probably. But that's the second member, an MC, who's technically a comedian, okay? And then the third member, you would not guess who it is. It's that sex scandal girl, Lee Hyori.
Oh, wow, cosmic.
Yeah, bloody amazing, man. I think they're gonna have another one. No, I'm kidding. So there you've got these three big names, and what do people say about it? They say that Sucks-City, the group, what's that word? It's
too much of an advantage.
Yeah, they had an advantage that other groups didn't have. They already had fans, they already had company backing them up. That's why Sucks-City, the group, got so big with Rain, Hyori, and Yoo Jae-suk as the members. Whereas if you compare to, something like a Monster X, who came from a variety of competition, who had fans, for that show, and then became a group. And for the show, they had to have some sort of backing by that company to keep them on that show as well. I mean, it's not that different.
It's
really
fun.
Not that different.
It's a bit of fun. Keep that in mind. They're not trying to be too serious with these songs. There's a little bit of fun off their variety show Meeting With You.
Which hurts the K-pop fans even more, because Rain, Hyori, Yoo Jae-suk didn't even try, and they got number one.
And it is a banger.
One. It's a banger. They did it as a joke, as a variety show, just for laughs, and they get number one. Like, holy crap, man! Can you imagine the amount of work, the amount of effort that all the other K-pop artists had to go through, the dog eat dog mentality, an eye for an eye, competing with 79 other members in their own company just so they can debut. And these three mother bringers suddenly just take the spot as a joke. And they get paid not to make the group, but just to have fun of the process of making the group.
Legends never die, man. It's just one of those things. These people, that's his legacy. Rain will always be popular. He's an eternal idol. He's a forever idol.
And then the sex scandal of Rain and Hyori actually popped back up. It did, right?
Sure.
Oh, it did?
I can't confirm that. I'll be honest. I cannot confirm that. All I know is that Lee Hyori said it's not true back in 2012. So, yeah, put that one to bed. Stop thinking about sex, Henry. All right, let's leave it there. Why does that sound so weird? Like, I'm just trying to naturally end the show.
Those are lyrics from Rainism. Okay? It's true. Search it up, Rainism. He does that stuff, man.
It's true.
It's true. It's not sexy. It's not sexual. It's sexy. See, that's when Rain does it. But when I do it, suddenly the cops come. So let's just get out of this.
All right. Yeah, we'll leave it there. To summarize, Rain, he did have a kind of rough start because the boy group he was in, Fan Club, actually, you chalk it up to a fail a little bit. They were only around for 2 years. But JYP picked him up. He saw potential. And oh man, I would definitely say he helped cement him as an absolute legend. But also, JYP needs Rain as much as Rain needs JYP. I think that's a very fair sentiment.
Not anymore. Bloody Rain's with Cube now, isn't he?
Right, but there is no doubt in my mind that both of them helped each other become household names that they are today, right?
That's true. I agree.
And Rain, he was very ambitious. He took risks. He attempted to break into Hollywood. I'd chalk that up to not quite pulling it off, not a massive success. But it's incredible how he's known everywhere. He is a worldwide star. So in that sense, he is successful in his ambition. He continues to be in the industry as a mentor and an actor. He started a family. He's got it made, man. Rain,
he's got it made.
Eternal idol. Thank you, everyone, for sharing, giving me and Henry feedback on the pod. Keep it coming. It's awesome. This is How Not to K-Pop. Till next time.